everyone. My name is Stephanie Farah, and I am Seapine CSA's Communication Manager, and I would like to welcome you to the 2024 Meet the Candidates video. This year, we have 4 candidates running for 3 Class A residential board of directors seats. Each candidate had the opportunity to create a 10-minute video featuring the topic of their choice. In addition to the following videos, you can learn more about each candidate by visiting their profiles posted to our website at seapinesliving.com/elections. As a reminder, on November 1st, ballots will be emailed to the primary contact listed on your property record. For those without an email on file, your ballot will be mailed directly to you. Ballots must be submitted by 11:59 p.m. on December 1st to be counted. Thank you for being an engaged member of our wonderful community and enjoy this year's Meet the Candidates video.
You started coming to this beautiful, pristine beach town on vacations, found it so beautiful, like stepping off the earth, and loved it so much that you wanted to own your own piece. You're not alone. Hi neighbors, I'm Jennifer Ericksen, and I share this journey with you. I was asked to speak to you about why I would like to serve as a CSA Class A board representative. I'm happy to talk about something that is so exciting and I take pride in, and that's my neighborhood. Clearly, there are many things that make up the bedrock of Sea Pines and what it is today. Some are unseen and some are seen, such as infrastructure, the varied ecosystems, quality of life for residents and visitors, the modes of transportation here, and the vitality of the businesses within Sea Pines. They all have to be creatively balanced so we can thrive. I have the desire, the energy, the enthusiasm, the vision, along with the skills to honor the rich traditions of Sea Pines and take steps forward towards an exciting future. I've had the pleasure of serving on the Sea Pines committees since 2019, 3 of them as a matter of fact. They are the Gate Committee, the Short-Term Rental Committee, and the Safety Committee. Becoming a new board member, I hope to bring a new and fresh perspective. I will continue to listen to our community voices and make sure that they are clearly represented. Moving forward, we can take action steps with transparency while remaining anchored to the vision and the tradition that makes Sea Pines a destination that is truly set apart. I can ask the hard questions, relay information, add value to negotiations, and bring unity to all who travel through these beautiful gates. We have a wealth of experience and diversity within our gates. We truly are better together. If you haven't met me before, you may be thinking, why is Jennifer interested in moving from her position on the committees to joining the CSA board? Great question. What I found is basically all roads lead back to Sea Pines, and this is how. I've been actively engaging in learning more about the exciting projects that are slated for the Bluffton and Hilton Head Island areas. I noticed the strong connections leading back to Sea Pines. From the 278 Bridge Corridor project and going all the way down to our infrastructure project in Harbortown, each new improvement, more often than not, will impact our Sea Pines community. I'll be working with task forces and the board to help alleviate traffic congestion in and out of our gates, to improve the Sea Pines traffic circle flow, and consider the upcoming urban development timelines and how they're going to impact us. It's so important to have a keen awareness of what's going on outside of our gates as well as what's inside, so we can properly anticipate and plan as we move towards the future. I feel I can bring this perspective with me, and it will aid in helping preserve and protect the wonderful vision that Charles Fraser established so many years ago. Specifically, I will work towards improvements in our IT areas and communications. I will look into ideas to enhance our community amenities. I'll find innovative ways to help streamline payments and transactions across all platforms, including paying fees online and purchasing gate passes. To promote safety and education for us to better coexist with our wildlife, between the wildlife and the residents. I'll explore new ways to support the varied types of property ownership here in Sea Pines, while protecting and elevating all of our property values. I support local and would love to see us expand our relationships with residents and with the businesses here. Our footprints in the sand started well over 28 years ago. Our love for the island led me to varied home ownership here, which has included Marriott Vacation Club, our purchase of a Racquet Club villa, and then led us to another home in Greenwood Forest. Finally, our dream of full-time residency landed us on Plantation Drive, where we have lived and enjoyed the past 6 years. Each home purchase partnered with my design skills, extensive high-end renovation, and self-management has allowed me a depth of understanding into the complexities and opportunities that face us here in Sea Pines. My corporate resume is listed for your viewing. Some of my most outstanding accomplishments briefly include marketing, communications, director of events for crowds over 40,000, commercial hair and makeup, product and wardrobe, along with set styling for film and television, and business ownership. My ability to excel in high-stress situations, problem solve, work alongside nationally acclaimed entertainers, authors, Secret Service, and even presidents have allowed me unique experiences. I'm organized, a highly creative thinker, and a great listener. My husband of 30 years, Brian, has worked for Nestle USA for over 25 years. His love for pickleball has overtaken his golf time, and now he can be found most weekdays running around with a paddle in his hand at South Beach Racquet Club. I am a mother of 2. My daughter, Lauren, lives here on the island and is currently the Events and Programs Manager for the Hilton Head Island Chamber of Commerce. My son, Brock, lives here on the island also and is currently finishing his college career in IT and business entrepreneurship. Finn is our 2-year-old micro mini golden doodle. He loves chasing squirrels and the boat life in his spare time. He is one salty dog. We enjoy the best of life inside Sea Pines, like many of you. The beaches, the biking, pickleball, and boating. We're active in our church. We have had the opportunity to serve in various nonprofits over the years and traveled abroad on mission trips. We travel whenever possible and enjoy lots of time with family and friends. Being a world-class resort, Sea Pines should always continue to set the bar high. I would be remiss if I didn't speak to the depth of community that I have seen and participated in over the last few years. You guys step up, you lean in, and you display compassion and unity in some amazing ways. Assembling search parties for the recent missing visitor in South Beach, gathering food and supplies for nonprofits like Deep Well, and recognizing our CSA staff who went above and beyond recently with notes and gift cards after Tropical Storm Debbie. These are just a few of the ways that Sea Pines community always makes me proud. Last and certainly not least, I would love to build upon the wonderful information gathered for you and at your fingertips on the Sea Pines Living website. There are so many touch points for you to engage in our community and so much to gain. I also encourage you to vote because your vote is your voice. I have had the utmost respect for our Sea Pines family, the people employed who serve and protect us, the CSA staff, the board of directors, along with the varied commercial businesses and Sea Pines Resort. I thank you for your time and considering me for a CSA residential board member position. I've enjoyed serving our beautiful community over the years, and I hope to continue for as long as you'll have me. Thank you.
Greetings, Sea Pines community. I'm pleased to present this short video giving you a snapshot of why I'm uniquely qualified to represent you as a Class A Director of CSA. My wife Susan and I have owned our home here in Sea Pines for over 20 years. We've lived here full-time for over 10 years. Living in Sea Pines as a full-time resident gives you a 12-month, 360-degree perspective on this community and its needs. Quick background on me. My primary career was in broadcasting. It's ironic that when a microphone's placed in front of me, I become very uncomfortable and tend to freeze. So forgive my jitters. I've always felt compelled to give back to the community I lived in. While I was in Kansas City, I served on many boards that helped the city grow and prosper. I was on the Greater Kansas City Community Foundation Board. I was on the University of Missouri Kansas City Entrepreneurs Council, a director of the Economic Development Corporation, and I was chairman of the Port Authority of Kansas City, Missouri. When we moved to Sea Pines, it was important for me to continue giving back by being involved in this community. I've been on the Schooner Court Board, where I live, as a director since 2006. I was on the ASPO board from 2018 to 2023, and I served on the CSA board from 2018 through 2024. My last year, I held the position of the vice chairman. My tenure on these boards has given me a clear insight on the operations and the needs of Sea Pines. Over the years, I've seen the community change. You've seen the community change. There are more tourists, more short-term rentals, more congestion. My obligation to you as your representative is to be actively involved and to help us make decisions that will enhance the quality of life for all property owners in Sea Pines. And I believe that's a common denominator we can all agree is needed. So thank you for taking your time to watch this short presentation. Feel free to contact me if you'd like to talk, and thank you for your vote.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dave Schoettmer, and I'm making this recording for your consideration as part of the Sea Pines CSA Board of Directors elections. This is going to be one of the Meet the Candidate videos, so please feel free to have a listen, and hopefully you like what you hear, and I can get your vote for one of the open spots on the board. Again, my name is Dave Schoettmer. I'm going to run through a little bit of information for you. I'll give you my background and introductory information, talk about my career a little bit, maybe summarize what I think are my qualifications. Happy to share what my interests are and why I'm in Sea Pines, and also why I like to do other things with my free time, and really what's my motivation for joining this board. So hopefully I can get through with that in 7 or 8 minutes for you. I'm from Columbus, Ohio. I grew up in Dayton, Ohio, but have been in Columbus for a few decades now, so definitely an Ohio guy. My wife is Laura. We just celebrated our 30th anniversary. We have 2 college-age kids. Our oldest is in vet school, just started vet school here at the Ohio State University, actually. And I have a son in architecture, 3rd year at Auburn, an SEC student. We also have 2 Labrador retrievers. If you see us around Sea Pines, it's a good chance that you'll see us with our dogs. They love the environment down there, certainly love the beach and the water, all within approved hours to have the dogs on the beach, of course. My background and training, I guess, my degree for undergraduate school or undergraduate college was as an engineer. I was a mechanical and aerospace engineer at the University of Dayton. That's where I met my wife, by the way. Later in my career, I did get an MBA from the Ohio State University. And that was part of what drew me to Columbus as well. So if I look back at my career, I was an engineer in the industry that I described. Events took me into software implementation, and actually became a software consultant. So left and joined a consulting firm to do that work. Did that for about 7 years before I started my own company. So I was a founder. I started the firm by the name of Navigator Management Partners, where we also continued to do work with software consulting. And that firm, after about 18, 19 years of me leading that firm, we were acquired by a company by the name of AVAP USA. We are still under that name. I'm a board member of that company. I stayed active for a few years after the acquisition, and have now moved on to a board member where I'm kind of in a semi-retired situation, which is why I'm considering the time I have available to use towards the CSA board. So yeah, as I mentioned, currently I'm a board member. Outside of that, I'm doing some lightweight college instruction, not a full-time professor or anything like that, but teaching engineering and entrepreneurship I'm on some boards that include an incubator and really advisors to young people trying to start their own business, share some of the lessons that I learned. For more information on my career and that, you can look me up on LinkedIn. Again, Dave Schoettmer is the name. If you look me up in Columbus, Ohio, you should find me relatively easily if you'd like to see more. Not too many of us here in Columbus by that name. Yeah, my qualifications, I went through my work history, so I'm not going to reiterate all of that. I've been, in addition to that work experience, I have been an HOA board member and board president for about 7 years in my past. Jokingly, I joined that board, became the president, and they wouldn't let me leave the role of president until I actually left the neighborhood. So I left them with no choice. So I'll take that to mean they were pretty happy with the role that I had in that role of somewhat authority of an HOA. I think I had the right balance of kind of enforcing the standards that we had in place, but also making sure I was able to help our neighbors, get done what they wanted to get done, and kept everybody pretty happy with the way we did it. That would be my goal here in Sea Pines as well. In addition to HOA experience, I've got a pretty extensive nonprofit experience. Again, if you look at LinkedIn, several of the nonprofits I've served are out there. I was actually a board chair for a couple of the organizations that I've served. One was the American Heart Association here, mostly Central Ohio, but in the region that represents this space. I was also the board chair for a group called Mental Health America. So again, in those positions, joined, certainly not as the chair, but was active, put the time in. People thought I did a good enough job and moved my way up to board chair in those nonprofits. From a professional perspective, given the feedback that I received, I think, I was told that I was a pretty good employee. Later on, I started my own company, as I mentioned. I think I was a pretty good executive. Our company was recognized for about 19 years. I was leading the company. I think for 17 of those, we were considered the best place to work. We received corporate caring recognition in our local communities, about the same number of years, 18 years or so, which just indicated that we were one of the firms that gave back to the local community. And that's part of what has me, part of what's driving me here to help out with the CSA. I like to give back to things that I want to support, and I certainly want to see Sea Pines continue to be a fantastic place. Let's see. In addition to these things, so let's see. I do have experience in beach life, I suppose. In Sea Pines, my wife and I are going to be owners. We're not renting our home. We joined the Sea Pines community really not too long ago, about a year and a half ago. We are owners. We're not renting here in Sea Pines. However, we did own properties at the Outer Banks of North Carolina for, I guess, about 20 years or so, a couple of different properties. And in those cases, we were renting the home when we weren't using it. So we've got that experience as well. And I think we have people in both of those situations in Sea Pines. So I do believe I've got the background to be appreciative of both situations and what you're trying to accomplish. From a personal perspective, my interests include just being active and getting outdoors. I like to exercise. I love to get on the beach with my dogs. I'm a golfer. I'm a cyclist. I'm picking up pickleball. I'm still a novice and new at it, as is my wife. We like to play together, but it's fun. Adult ping pong is what I like to think of it as, but we're getting a little bit better at that, but it's just a good time to socialize and get out and be active. I like ice hockey. I was a player. I'm also a Blue Jackets fan here in Columbus, Ohio. That's our NHL team. I like college football. I'm in Columbus, so I'm certainly an Ohio State fan. I'm one of the many Ohio Staters in Sea Pines, but I like college football in general. My son, as I mentioned, is in the SEC. That's opened up a whole new environment for me. So I have to learn how to say War Eagle and things like that when I'm around Auburn people. I like live music. I like going to see bands, whether it's a professional band at a major venue or just, at a local bar. People liking to perform, enjoy it all. In terms of why am I doing this? What's my motivation? I love what Sea Pines has to offer. I've loved it so far. A lot of my interests line up with what's offered in Sea Pines, and it's a great environment. And I think it's considered to be, one of the best plantations in Hilton Head, and that's because of the work that the CSA and ARB and others have done in the past. So I certainly want to maintain the fantastic nature of what we've got. But in my career, I was a software consultant, but really I was also focused on helping my clients be efficient, to be responsive, really to kind of measure ourselves to make sure we're doing a good job by our customers. And I think I would bring that same approach to the CSA. I want us to be efficient. I want us to be responsive in every case possible. I want to be able to say yes to our property owners and what they want to do, but also maintain that balance to keep us within the regs and make sure the regs make sense, but keep us within those so everyone that comes in that has already bought continues to experience Sea Pines and how they've had it set up in the past. So those are my quick thoughts, my intro to you, and my reason for why I want to do this. I'm happy to serve. So if I sound like somebody that might represent you well, I hope I can get your vote. So thanks for listening, and I'll sign off on this video, and we'll talk soon.
Hello, my name is Tom Sharp, and I'm running for the second term on your CSA board. During my first 3 years, I chaired the Community Infrastructure and Maintenance Committee meeting. And this committee basically handles or oversees and provides input for the $5 million a year program to improve our infrastructure, and also provides community input on the maintenance items. So I'd like to, during this time, talk about 3 observations I've had during my 3 years serving on your board. And those are going to be the areas I'd like to talk about: the improvement of the infrastructure of our community. I'd like to talk about the residents' resort balance, and then close with the traffic task force that we've formed to work on Greenwood. So under the infrastructure improvement plan, I've learned that this is a very complex process in terms of construction timing. It's very expensive. And the logistics, we basically have a construction period of Labor Day to March. We also have found that we have a very old infrastructure, specifically in the drainage area, and those are very costly to work with. I think the staff has done a wonderful job working together in terms of finance, timing, and working logistic issues. So I want to commend them. And I think the last thing I'd like to say about this is our CSA staff does a very wonderful job in forward planning in a very difficult area to make our community infrastructure improvements. And we've all seen those in place. Certainly along South Beach in Sea Pines. The second area that I think that I found very interesting, and I call it the yin and yang of the residents versus the resort. This is very difficult, very unique to the island in terms of gated communities. I think it's a very healthy environment. It's a very difficult environment for the staff to manage. It'd be very easy if it was just residents, typical town or typical resort, and you would go one direction. But I think I use the word healthy because I think it's good for both parties to have some balance and have some energy, and it forces actually better decisions for the community, for the future of our community. The tourists obviously provide quite a financial advantage to us as residents. We have a lower annual fee, and also it brings some wonderful facilities. Our Sea Pines Resorts, the facilities that the Sea Pines Resorts has is second to none. It's pretty nice to be able to not have to leave the community and find very nice recreational and restaurant facilities. And I've also found that the Sea Pines Resorts, and Steve Birdwell particularly, has been very positive contributor to the CSA board and to the CSA staff. So we're very fortunate, I think, to have the resort, Sea Pines Resort, as a member of our community. And again, it's a healthy dialogue to balance the needs of our residents, property owners, against those of the tourists. The last item I'd like to talk about quickly is the traffic task force, of which Cliff McCracken of Sea Pines Resorts and I co-chair. I think most folks are aware that this was an action group formed to resolve congestion situation at Greenwood and the Sea Pines Circle. So there's basically two problems we're solving here that the task force has been working on. One is a obvious engineering problem, that's a transportation problem, and that's congestion at Sea Pines Circle. But actually, when the day is done, the real issue that we have to deliver as a task force is project acceleration. We have been looking at this, well, I shouldn't say we, someone has been looking at Sea Pines congestion for 10 years, but nothing really has been done. And that's why the real solution is project acceleration. So in this task force, we broke it into two areas. Obviously, the gate is a congestion point, and the other congestion point is Greenwood going into Sea Pines. In terms of the gate, Ann Espedito from the board has put together a very nice, or spearheaded an effort to put together a very nice request for technology information. And that will be going out next week to probably about 12 or 15 vendors to show us what they can do in terms of gate technology that's available to move people through our gate quicker in a welcoming manner and also in a secure manner. The second area is to work on reconfiguring Greenwood and Sea Pines Circle. So what we have done in this area is we've redefined a project. It's called SIT-SIP, and it's the South Island Traffic Circle Improvement Plan. We wanted to start to highlight that it's not just the Sea Pines Circle. It is the whole south end of the island that goes through Sea Pines Circle. All of our tourists going to Coligny. So it is a toll gate. What we've done then inside that is we have combined Greenwood and Sea Pines Circle as one engineering project. You may be aware that Sea Pines is in control of Greenwood, and the state has the circle and the other three arteries that feed into it. So in fact, what we're doing is putting one engineering project together to be done at the same time, engineered at the same time, constructed at the same time. And we are proceeding currently with SCDOT to take that project over, assign a project manager, and begin work. We feel that SCDOT has all the resources in-house. This is what they do for a business, day in and day out. They take care of the roads and highways in South Carolina, and they are best equipped to manage this. And again, we feel this will accelerate the project completion and resolve the congestion we have entering our community. So thank you very much. Those are my comments. I look forward to serving for another 3 years, and appreciate your support in the form of a vote. Thank you.